Hello lovies and welcome back. We are on episode 4 of Kitch Alchemy and I am your host Vicky. Thank you so much for joining wherever in the world you're watching from. I have been loving all the feedback from you guys and today I thought why not share one of my favorite side dishes for a hearty meal. So today we're doing honey butter biscuits. If you are interested in that, keep watching.
Honey butter biscuits?
As always, you will find a complete list of all the ingredients down in the description below. When measuring out your flour, you want to make sure when you scoop it that you don't shake the measuring cup like that. You don't want to level out the flour because it'll end up being too much in your recipe. So whatever naturally fills the cup, you can take a flat edge, like the back of this butter knife, and just scrape it, like so, for 1 cup. Next, 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Keeping in mind, just like the flour, don't shake your measuring cup. Measure it as is, using the flat part of the back of your knife to fill the cup like so. Scrape off the excess into the bowl. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And yes, my lovies, if you don't bake a lot, there is definitely a difference between baking powder and baking soda. Don't get these mixed up. Perfect. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. A little bit of sugar. I would say you can do 1 tablespoon of sugar. This is organic light brown sugar. This one you don't have to be so accurate, but 1 tablespoon. A dash of salt. Not that much. To your bowl, we are going to add 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. I'm using the Kate's Creamery brand, but of course use whatever is available at your local grocery store. To make this easier and more pliable to work with, you'll want to take it out of the fridge 20 to 30 minutes before you're ready to use it. That'll make this much easier to handle. Next, you will need 2 tablespoons, which judging by these lines, that gives you the measurements. Philadelphia cream cheese, we're gonna cut here and use that amount. Next, 3/4 cup of buttermilk. Again, using Kate's Creamery, real buttermilk. If you do not like buttermilk, have an allergy to it, or simply can't find it, feel free to substitute with whole milk, goat milk, or even a plant-based milk. Opt for something a bit thicker, so definitely not as watery as maybe like a soy or a rice milk, because this really helps with the texture of your biscuits. Now we're going to add our butter and our cream cheese into the dry mix here. You'll notice cutting it into pieces makes it easier to deal with, breaking it down with your hands. Now I wanted to show this way of doing it because everyone doesn't have a stand mixer at their house. So I wanted to show how you can make these biscuits with just a bowl and a whisk and do it all yourself. So really get in there, smoothing, breaking down the pieces of butter and the cream cheese. You want to think about the flour, really incorporating in it. It's going to start to resemble sand a little bit. Keep going for about a minute to 2 minutes. No need to rush through this process. Keep smashing, keep smashing. If you see other big chunks like that, break it down. After about 2 minutes, your mix will look similar to this. You'll notice there's small chunks, but overall no large chunks. It's been thoroughly incorporated. So now we're gonna go in and add our 3/4 cup of buttermilk. Add it in slow. And guess what we do now, cameraman?
What do we do?
We mix.
Mix it up. 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 Some strong forearms.
Oh. Okay, take a look. See how it's looking. Starting to stick. It's looking like a mess. That's what you want. Now, if you're at home and the mixture is too dry, you can definitely add a little splash. I mean, like a tablespoon at a time of milk until it reaches the consistency. But this is pretty much what we're looking for, guys. Knead it for about 60 seconds more with your hands, and then it's going to be time to form our biscuits. Have our dough. I just wanted to do that. Now that we have our dough, we're just going to pinch off. I would call this maybe 3 tablespoons. You really don't have to measure. It just depends on how big you want your biscuits. Form it into, you know, a decent little ball here. And then ploop on the pan. I'm using a baking tray covered with aluminum foil. Do this until all your dough is on the pan. Make sure you have about 1 to 2 inches of space between, so when they cook, it gives them room to expand. For your honey butter topping, you're gonna take 2 to 3 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter. And I would say, y'all know I do not like to measure. I would say about a tablespoon of honey, whichever honey you have. If you want a little extra, you know, razzle dazzle, I have the Spicewalla apple pie spice. Totally optional. Smell it, cameraman. Yeah. So you're just gonna take a little dash here. I have no idea how much this is. Just a dash. And you're gonna mix this up.
That looks good.
Thank you. Now, this is not a part of the episode. This is for another episode, but preheat your oven to 425. And look at my chicken. into the oven, 425. Set a timer for 12 minutes. Once your timer runs out from the 12 minutes, don't turn the oven off yet. Take your biscuits out. We're gonna top them with our honey butter, like so, and stick it back in the oven for another 3 minutes, and then we're done. And here we are, lovies, the finished product. These are your awesome honey butter biscuits. Cameraman.
Yes.
Come try.
This one.
If you guys give this a try, definitely tag me on Instagram at LunaPoshHippie. And until next time, see you later, Space Cowboy.